Here is a walk around and tour of this 1981 BMW 320i. This is an extremely important car in BMW history, as it's the first of the long-running, much-loved BMW 3 Series, the E21. The E21 was sold between 1977 and 1983 here in North America. However, it wasn't the first BMW that really sparked the love affair in North America with the Bavarian brand. That honor goes to the BMW 2002, which came before this. That car was extremely popular and had extremely beautiful styling and fantastic handling. That said, the E21 had pretty big shoes to fill. And if you look at the sales figures, it filled them pretty well, as this was the very first BMW model to sell over 1 million units, half of which were exported worldwide. You would think that being the first of an extremely popular vehicle would make this car very collectible. When you look at old air-cooled 911s, the early cars are extremely sought after and go for hundreds of thousands of dollars in fantastic condition. The E21 is one of the rare cases where the car before it and the car after it were more loved, despite the importance in history that this car brought. The only other example I can think of that closely resembles this is the C1 Corvette. Although the Corvette has a huge following, the C1 with its inline six and cramped interior isn't nearly as popular as the C2 that came after it. The E21, however, had its drawbacks here in North America, the first of which being it was only sold with the M10 four-cylinder engine, which depending on year was either a 2-liter or a 1.8-liter. This vehicle being a 1981 means that it was a 1.8-liter. I'm going to walk through all of the other differences between the North American models. Another one that is very prevalent is the diving board front bumper, the US spec bumpers, which most people swap out in favor of the slimmer, more attractive European ones. Me, I'm more partial to these, mostly because this is a North American car and I think it looks very period correct, much like the R107 SL with its large bumpers. I think that it really gives this thing an 80s look. Another thing that was kind of cobbled together for the North American market was the plate setup in the rear. If you look at these slim, beautiful taillights, you notice that there's almost a perfect rectangular shape in between them. And that was actually meant for a European license plate. The North American plate bracket has these two little DOT lights, and it's kind of just slapped in the middle to appease our regulations. I always found that kind of goofy. This car, as you can see, is finished in Schwartz, and it also has a beige leather interior, which is in fantastic condition. I also want to mention that this car has a few aftermarket period correct accessories. These Coco mats, although they're new, they are very period. I know that this Momo Prototipo wheel is in fact a period correct wheel. It also has a BMW Roundel shift knob. And up front, you'll see it has these beautiful Bosch fog light covers, which is really cool. Another accessory I don't have fitted to the car currently is a set of OEM BMW roof rails, which look really cool on this. I just don't have them in place currently. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk. Which, as you can see, is quite large, despite this being the smallest BMW they sold at the time. You can see, much like every BMW, it has the toolkit fitted to the rear. You'll find in here all of the tools as they should be. Go ahead and close that. And we can go ahead and hop inside. You can see that this 320i is currently sitting at just under 106,000 miles. Those are genuine, fully documented miles, as this car has a service history dating back to the mid-2000s, at least that I have on paper. Something that's really, really cool about this car is this factory radio, which on a car this old is pretty rare to see not changed to an aftermarket head unit. And you'll notice the position of it is really strange. In fact, 81's the last year where the radio is facing upwards, and it's almost unusable if you're trying to tune the station and drive. You really have to have your passenger figure out what station you want to listen to, because you won't be able to see the screen at all. In 82, they actually moved the radio so it is facing the driver, and it's a little bit more ergonomically appropriate for this vehicle. As I had said, there's a BMW roundel shift knob, although you can't really, there you go, you can see it now. This car is equipped with AC, and it works fantastic. Another thing this car is equipped with is this manual crank sunroof, which has tilt, and it also goes completely back. So let me first pull it down. As you can see, I'm turning this, and it goes down. And if I turn it the other way, it opens right up, which is super cool. You'll never have to worry about a power part failing on that. No switch failure, no mechanical failures for that. It's pretty neat. This car also has a power passenger side mirror, although I think I have to have the ignition on to change it, which I'll go ahead and grab the key. As you can see, just a little simple BMW key. The ignition can be found right here. Close the doors, got that chime out of the way. You can see that the motor for that works, although it's very slow. I'm going to go ahead and start the car up. And I'll turn on the AC, which, as I had said, works fantastic. You can see you got a simple clock here, as well as a fuel gauge, all of the little warning lights you need to see. You can see that the speedometer has red highlighted because 55 at the time was the max speed limit in the United States, which is pretty funny. The dash on this car is in fantastic shape, although it does have one little crack here, I believe another one right here, but I've seen far worse as far as these E21s go. I really like that this part's flat here. You could lay your garage door opener in there if you'd like. It also has a really sizable glove box, as you can see. You also have crank windows on this car and manual steering, as I forgot to mention. I'll hit the horn, which sounds really cool. And I'm going to go ahead and pop open the hood. Shut the AC off so you can hear that engine. Under full power. That's the other thing I wanted to mention about the E21s as far as North America is concerned. As I had said, we got the M10 4-cylinder, which puts out just over 100 horsepower in its 1.8 liter configuration. How I describe this car as far as driving, it drives like a really nice Volkswagen Beetle. It has enough power to get out of its own way, but it's not going to get you anywhere crazy fast. See everything nice and clean under the hood. Much like the E30, it has a front hinged hood, which is pretty cool to see. See all the fuse blocks here, brand new battery. We'll go ahead and shut that nice and slowly. And for these hoods, you rest it in this position, and then you walk over to the BMW roundel, and you give it a push, just like that. See, this car also has a really cool grill badge from the BMW Car Club of America. It also has a sticker on the back side. I should also walk around this side. I'm parked up against this tall grass. You can get a good look over here. See that the car is nice and straight. These basket weave wheels are in fantastic condition. It's got great tires. I also really love how narrow the kidney grills are on the E21s and how they follow this line all the way down the hood. It's very beautiful, extremely attractive. If you want to confuse someone, show up to Cars and Coffee in an E21. Because every time I take this car anywhere, it gets mistaken for a 5 Series, a 6 Series. Nobody really knows what it is. That's one of the things I really like about the E21 is you just don't see them. Shut the car off so this annoying thing shuts off. There you go. I'll show you the back. See, the seats are in fantastic shape in the back. And I might as well walk over to the passenger side and open that up as well. And then I'll flick on the lights and the hazards. And I think we'll wrap up this video. See, it's nice and clean over here as well. So this dash is really, really in good shape. Let me go ahead and put the ignition on, and I'll turn the hazards on, and I'll wrap up this video. You can see the headlights in working order as well as both cornering lights, the blinkers. See, you got this side marker on the sides working as well. I said I really love these skinny tail lights on the E21. It's very, very unique. Here's the passenger side marker. And the fog lights work as well. In fact, I'll pop the cover off one just so you can see. Just got to turn it on. It's inside. That should be the fogs. Here's the fog. Show you this one as well. Working as well. Go ahead and shut that off. And we'll do one final walk around of the car. Put this back on. All right, that's where I'm going to wrap up this video. As I had said before, this is a 1981 BMW 320i. The vehicle is now up for sale. I've had it for just over 2 years, I believe, and it has been a fantastic car. Being a BMW enthusiast, I always wanted to know what it was like to own the first 3 Series, and it is just a really neat car. It's not like an E30, but in a way, it's a little bit better, in my opinion. The E30 is far more desirable and far more popular, and I've never been one to have the same thing that everybody else has. I've always liked the more unique, more interesting cars. And the E21 is definitely that as far as BMW is concerned. All right, that's where I'm going to wrap up this video. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.